a grape variety which is probably most closely associated with California. For the longest time, they thought that California was the birthplace of this grape variety, Zinfandel. Starting since like the mid part of the 1990s or so, there's been a lot of genetic testing on grapes. And what they discovered is actually Zinfandel is the same grape variety that you find in Italy by the name of Primitivo. So Zinfandel, Primitivo, same grape variety. They've done more research and found that Primitivo came from Croatia, and I can't remember the name of the grape variety there because I think it's only got like one vowel. And even if I could remember, I wouldn't even know how to pronounce it. So that sort of native grape variety to California actually started Croatia, went over to Italy, from Italy came over to California. But that sort of makes sense. Is most of the California wine industry was started by people of Italian descent. And it was very common, if you're going to leave your homeland, take a couple of cuttings of the grapevine, and that way wherever you end up, you can plant your little vineyard and make your own little familiar house wine. And so I'm pretty sure that's probably exactly how Zinfandel ended up getting out in California. This is a property by the name of Key Vera, which is one of my favorite Zinfandel properties. They do a little bit of Chard, a little Cab. I think they have a little touch of Syrah planted as well, but it's definitely Zinfandel that they're most well known for, and it's definitely the grape variety from them I enjoy the most. They're located in Dry Creek, which is basically ground zero for Zinfandel production in California. Closest city is Healdsburg. It's not too far outside of where Dry Creek is located. These guys are all organic, biodynamic. This is about as non-interventionist winemaking as possible. Now, the reason why I like these guys so much is very often when you're dealing with California Zinfandel, it is a big monster of a wine. Generally very high alcohol, huge amount of wood, just a big, bold, just massive fruit bomb, really high alcohol style. And that's typically, what Zinfandel is known for doing. But there again, as we touched on earlier in the tasting, that's a style of wine that I'm really, really frightened of to pair up with food. That being said, there are Zinfandel producers that make really wonderful wines that still leave room for the food. This is a really good example of Zinfandel. It's got that really dense core of like this dark, dry berry fruit to it, whether it be dried red berries or dried blueberry flavor to it. Zinfandel to me always has this sort of brambly, almost like sort of dried herb essence to it. This definitely does, but there's still a good amount of acidity that's in this. It's not just a big fleshy type of fruit bomb style, or a style which is really rich in oak and rich in alcohol. I think there's a really good balance that goes on here, really smooth and elegant sort of flavor profile and texture when you end up tasting it, but then it's got this really wonderful sort of pervasive finish. And this is a style of red that I particularly like, things that deliver a lot of flavor without being overly heavy. So we're going to do up Zinfandel, but we're going to pair it up with chicken because this wine does have that sort of delicacy to it, that good amount of elegance. There again, it's been herb roasted, so the Zinfandel should bring out, that nice, those nice amount of herbs that have been roasted by the chicken. Yes. I gotta go take a look. I think it's like 14.5. It's a little up there, but it's not too bad. It's 14.9. Yeah. Well, the other thing is out in California, when you're looking at alcohol percentages, they have a 1.5 to play with. So it could be as low as whatever the math is, 13.4 and as high as whatever. But if they're going to do 14.9, I'm sure that's exactly what it's pegged at. So I hope you like it.